Hey guys, and it's Wizard30 back with another Let's Play for Age of Empires Online. And as you can see, I've given us some epic music because I kind of want to make up for not giving us an Egyptian quest. God, I'm such a fail at speaking. What's wrong with me? It's like I talk in shorthand and I've forgotten how to speak normally. Yeah. Can you feel the power level rising beyond 9,000 with this epic music? Seriously, this music is so freaking awesome. I love this music. DBZ is Pwn. It just equals win. Its music equals win. It it is win. Bruce Falconer's fucking awesome, and all his friends who made this music, because I know he wasn't the only guy involved. So yeah, but yeah, awesome guys. Well done. You guys are so awesome. You are a win, guys. You've just transcended beyond winning just to win. You are just winning all the time, so much that you have become win. It's like it's like God. You're like God, just musically. There you go. That's it. That's what I was looking for. You are the music god. Should have said that in the first place. But yeah. So my rambling about this awesome music aside, um I'll leave it in the description. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys. So but yeah, my rambling aside, I found a few merchant caravans. I think pretty much all of them are guarded, maybe with the exception of one. But yeah, there's not much I can really do here. I can see that giant hole. I have an outpost by that giant hole, but still, and my outpost isn't doing a too bad job of defending it, but I obviously need spearmen by there to protect it, because I can't really do jack all without those spearmen. They'll just raid my base and kill all my villagers, and I don't want that. And I got my scout standing pretty epically on that mountain top. It's like on the edge of the cliff, just staring at the mountainside or landscape or whatever. Just saying, yeah, I made it here. But yeah, he leaves because he wants to kill the moon and go scouting again. Because that's what scouts do, and scouts find it fun, it's their hobby. And I found their base, and that's not good, because they're probably more fortified than I am, and they obviously have an army to take me down. So there's not really much I can do here, so I just run back, circle around my base, and I found another merchant cart, which is good. I wanted to circle around my base to actually do that, so that's a good thing. Guess my plan kind of worked there. If you can call it a plan, I mean, it's just a smart thing to do, well, sensible thing to do. Common sense wins. But yeah, I need to kind of fill that gap in my fortification. I'll just call this whole base my fort, because you know, that's kind of what it is, really. So yeah, my fort, I need to close that gap in my fort. And I'm being told to by the music, so I need to close that gap up. So I start building a storehouse, because I have to fill the gap in the wall. I've been saying it all along. And yeah, my base gets raided again. Good thing I have some spearmen there to clean up pretty fast, get some free XP. And still got my freaking cold from last few episodes. It won't go away. It's really annoying. My sore throat's gone though. I've only got a sniffly nose now, so yeah. So things are getting better. Things are starting to look up a bit. And I'm building farms now because I don't like berry bushes in this game. In Age of Empires 2 they used to be like 1,000 food, and now they're like 300. How worthless is that? 300 food only. Come on. That's weak. I got this guy gathering stone, and storehouse is right next to the stone place, so there's practically no walking back at all, more or less, which saves me time, and it adds up quite a bit. Those journeys back and forth between a town centre when you're collecting resources, it may not seem like much, but if a guy's right next to his when he's collecting stuff, if you're playing a long game, you'll find out he will be about at least 5 minutes ahead of you by the end of the game. He'll probably be at least 5 minutes ahead of you, because he's not wasted any time. And yeah, in terms of the Egyptians I've been playing, their campaign is pretty hard, actually. It's a lot harder than the Greek campaign. It kind of took me by surprise. And probably not because it's out of my playstyle, because Egyptians are more like rushes rather than steamrollers, but people were saying that the Egyptian campaign is harder on the chat box when I've been playing this. And there's this really fucking hard quest called Sandstorm, which is basically this time quest where you have to hold out for a certain amount of time. And I have done that on the Greek civilization. I did an exact version of that. But God, is it hard on the Egyptian version. They get access to Golden Age units. About less than halfway into the game, you're being stacked up against war elephants, which is just, oh my god. That means I need to mass produce spearmen just to hold the wall. To be honest, I might need a barrier wall, because that would hold off guys a lot more and I'd save time and stuff. I'd also need to be a bit more military oriented, because I'm too economic when it comes to that. When I'm holding out, I kind of need to put a lot more effort into my military, really. I start off very economically to get this large economic advantage. I'm talking as if it was PvP, player versus player. I'd start off very villager oriented, and I think that's pretty standard. I think quite a lot of players do that, and yeah, I start off very villager oriented, and then as I start to get about, I probably make up about 10 plus villages at the least. I definitely I make more or less 20 villages before I start building up an actual army. And even then I'm still building stuff. I mean, I have by the time I've got 20 villages, I've probably got a tiny small force out, like 5 or 10 spearmen. But I only start seriously building military units when I get beyond 20 villages. Because that means I have like 5 guys on every resource, and I'm usually not mining for stone. So that's like 5 extra guys for those 3 resources I'm actually focusing on. I will obviously be mining stone. I'll probably have less guys usually mining on stone because it's the least important resource. So I'll probably, instead of like 5 guys working on stone, I'll have like 2 or 3. And yeah, and that's how I'll be going. I'll have 2 or 3 guys working on stone. That means I'll have like 1 extra guy for the other resources, or 2 extra guys for whatever resource I want to put them on. And that's incredibly useful. I like that system. It works well for me. I like that. Stone is generally very situational. Because I'm a steamroller, or sometimes I just wear out the opponent. Because I played a bit of Age of Empires, not Age of Empires Online, but the older Age of Empires, and I played against my brother a bit, and I just wore him down, really. That's pretty much how it went. That's just my style of play. I just either play ultra defensive or ultra defensive, then just go and play ultra offensive with this huge army. Get all the upgrades, all the units, kill everything. That's just how the game goes. And yeah, I'm defending my base really well right now. I fixed up the entire hole in my wall, apart from a bit where the tree blocks the way, and they can just walk through that little opening, and I can't block that. I can't block it. Even if I put a wall there, which I'm doing now, they can still make it through a little gap in the wall, and it's really annoying. And they can walk through unbuilt, well, if I haven't built on that area yet, they can just walk. The colourman can just walk through the foundations of that wall. Because a villager hasn't started building on it yet, so there's no obstacle. It has no health. It's basically non-existent. That's just saying, oh, those little foundations of a building, those construction sites, if they have 0 health or 1 health or whatever, it's basically saying you have decided to build something here, but it isn't there yet. That's basically what it is. It's non-existent. I'm not even sure if it can be killed or not. I think you'd have to manually attack it to actually kill it. I think units usually ignore it. like non-built stuff like that. So yeah, right now I'm just gathering resources really. I've got an extra personal gold, how about that? My population count I think is at a decent level at this point, everything's going well. I'm afraid this clubman might attack, but I think he's just scouting around. I think he's trying to find a hole in those woods so he can get through there as well, but I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. If that happens, I'll instantly fix it. And right now, I'm starting to build up more units as well. Definitely anti-infantry. I've seen very little cavalry. In this game so far, almost all my enemy has been infantry. Almost all of them. There's been very little cavalry. There was probably one mission where they were entirely cavalry based. That was the only mission. I have not really seen a mix of cavalry yet and infantry. I've seen it a bit. I've seen it in the later quests. I've seen it, but not as a large amount of units. Not even as a raiding party. I usually see it as like a horseman and a guy, and that's it. I don't see it as like 4 horsemen and 4 guys. I just see a horseman and a guy. I don't really see that as a raiding party at all. That's pretty weak, really. And I just built my market now. And I used to use markets a lot. I got it because I used to really love markets in Age of Empires 3, because usually I'd need this lucrative amount of resources. And I could just use it to interchange between the two. And I could just literally use gold to basically buy anything or sell anything to make gold. And you'd usually be selling gold to make something else. Usually wood, sometimes food. But usually wood. And it was so easy with the Dutch, because in Age of Empires 3 they got banks. And while banks were expensive, God, they made a lot of gold. And you could literally use the market to recover all the resources you lost building that bank. Even though you're selling gold, you're making so much it doesn't matter. And you can build like 3 banks, then like an extra 3 and an extra 3 every age or something. And you'd have so much gold coming in, you wouldn't have to gather resources anymore manually. You wouldn't have to build a mill or chop down wood, because you'd have a market, man. You can buy anything because you own all the banks. You are the economy. I mean, if there was to be any economic crash when you're in charge, your whole empire would die. Because your whole empire is based on those banks. And yeah, I basically made my whole economy off of banks when I was the Dutch in Age of Empires 3. I love playing as the Dutch. They had a rather limited villager capacity, but that was about it. And yeah, and that wasn't really an issue for me, because they could still build 50 villages instead of 99, which was I didn't really care for that. I would never reach my 99 villager limit. I would sometimes reach the 50 villager limit though. It's a little bit of a shame, but the banks just, you don't need, pretty much at that point you only need villagers to build anyway. So I mean the lower villager count doesn't really matter at all, and I usually wouldn't, as I said, I usually wouldn't reach anyway. But that's all for today, and I'll see you later.